that you are lying if you are close to someone of the opposite sex and that is your preferred or the gender that you're attracted to, and you say that the thought has never crossed your mind. Yeah. It may very quickly in and out, and then you're like, hell no. But the idea has crossed your mind.
Oh, yeah.
1,000%. And I feel like as we're getting older too, a lot of times like my group of guy friends are like my friends' boyfriends and their husbands or like their best friends, you know, or they're people that you work with, people that you like it's you don't just like have, I feel like random, oh, this was just my buddy that I met out and now we became besties. Like that doesn't really happen. Yeah. I just don't.
Yeah, I guess that's the case. Like I feel like the thought always crosses your mind. It's just whether or not like you feel like acting on it.
Exactly.
Like you could honestly have a friend that's a girl that you're just not attracted to, and you can just
for sure
platonically hang out.
If either party does choose to act on it, do you think that it's true that the best relationships could come from friendships?
Yeah.
I do too. Mm-hmm. I feel like there's already such an understanding and like you almost have that little bit of like, I know what I'm getting myself into.
Yeah.
Not always. There's still parts of each other you kind of have to learn. But I think there's a huge advantage to it.
Yeah, I feel like that's how I'm trying to approach like whatever relationship I get into is like I don't it's so hard for me to just like meet someone at the club.
Yeah.
And have like that superficial conversation with them, like, oh, like where are you from? Like what are you drinking tonight? Like where are you guys when did you guys get here? Whatever. Yeah. And like have any interest in that. Like I think for me it's more of the long game in terms of like actually getting to know a person before jumping into a relationship with them, because where I'm at now it's like I want to make sure that I'm getting into a relationship that I think is going to last a long time.
Definitely.
So I would like to get to know the person as much as possible before committing to myself actually going out with them and dating them.
Yeah.
And putting a title on it.
Totally. I feel like once you have like had a few relationships, you've been around the block enough, it's like you know better than to put yourself in a situation where things are going to kind of crash and burn. Mm-hmm. So I think that is also another layer to it, is like there's no rush to just jump into something. Take your time, get to know somebody before it's something sticky that you have to get yourself out of.
Yeah, and especially like if you then I guess then you run into a difficult situation where if you do become friends with them and they don't want to make it anything more, then you run the risk of losing a friend if you try to act on something that isn't there. So that breaks open a whole new conversation.
Mm-hmm. But it's funny because here we are saying that we think that it is true that the best relationships could come out of friendships, but like we ask the question, can girls and guys even be friends? So I feel like it just really puts a nail in that coffin that the answer is probably not. But yeah, I think that most people don't want to take the risk of losing the friendship by, or jeopardizing the friendship by like going after it and changing into something romantic.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happened with me in high school.
Yeah.
I asked out a very good friend of mine and got dumped, or it got rejected. Yeah. And it was a very awkward 8 months of my life before we ended up getting back together.
Yeah.
But like, had I just decided that we would just stay friends the whole time, I probably would have had a better time, at least during that 8 months.
Yeah.
And just pretended like everything was okay.
But what do you think's worse? Trying it and realizing this didn't work, or never knowing?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think in hindsight, I am glad I did ask.
Yeah.
And there have been people I've asked in the past too that I'm also still glad that I asked as well, just because I do think that knowing exactly what the question that you've always been wondering in your head is better than not knowing at all.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I agree.
As much as it hurts in the moment, and maybe a few months after that, I think it's for the best to ask.
Okay. Yeah. You don't want to be on the deathbed with the coulda, shoulda, wouldas.
Yeah.